Look at how dark it is. And how foggy it is. And how fast my battery's draining. What the dickens is with that? Okay, well, we're going down a pretty steep slope with a pothole in it. Whoa, hold it. Yeah, that's what I call a pileup right there. Hello, what's this? And why won't it play automatically? Why do I have to keep scrolling down to these things?
Hoppy, I gotta ask. Were you around when the old wall was nearly breached?
You want to know if I was involved?
I mean, sure. No one knew more about where anomalies came from than you. Heck, I mean, you know, the only reason anyone knew anything about anomalies was because of the research branch that you four started to build.
Yes, and we developed ways to prevent anomalies, not create them.
You can't prevent something if you don't know where it's created in the first place.
So you did pick up a thing or two around us scientists.
Okay, I'm purposely taking the road that I can actually see, meaning the tarmac road, as opposed to the road that I can't see. Whoa, hold it. Before I... Yeah, I saw that wriggling wreck up there. Can I get these things to play automatically?
Alls I know is, Arda didn't give two craps about anomaly prevention. You fought uphill the entire way.
Never thought I'd see the day where you'd sugarcoat anything coming out of your mouth. The Harmonic Disruption Research Lab was an abject failure. No, I wasn't involved, but I stood by and let it happen. By that point, the LIM project was in a bad way. Either it found a breakthrough and justified the government resources it was sucking up, or the entire project was put down. Everything depended on this technological quantum leap that evaded us for decades. In response, all good sense went straight out the window. For every wonder pulled out of thin air, LIM technology conjured increasingly greater horrors. But it was done in the name of progress, and we were powerless to stop it. The Harmonic Disruption Research Branch was all I could do to soften the atrocities Arda unleashed in the name of progress. I tried to clean up my mess, but I failed.
I may barely be able to see, but at least my battery isn't falling quite so rapidly now. Maybe that's another car quirk. Okay, lots of explosives here. I'll just dodge them. Speaking of, I've only ever seen tourists and shock tourists as explosive anomalies. I forget, I'm sick of being blind. Anyway, I have an uneasy feeling that the deep zone is going to be full of, well, more explosives. Maybe even live artillery fire. Now, wouldn't that make for an anomaly? Okay, got around that somehow. If you're wondering, yes, there are anchors on the way here. There aren't too. They're not very high intensity, but every little bit counts. Also, the more time I have to spare, the better. On the alternate side, who can turn up a good... what do you call it? Pneumatic thingy. This. Okay, no, I'm not going to take the flames. It's like everybody has those, I think. They are, honest to God, played out. There's a buzzsaw. It looks like that over there is one end of its... What was it that I said about live artillery fire? Okay, well, this is a perfectly good armored door, and I suppose it would be remiss of me to not loot it. Same goes for this panel here. And everything in here might as well be mine too. Okay, so I'll just wait for that to go back the other way. There we go. Yeah, if my all-weather, all-terrain tires got punctured this early in, that would really put the mean in mean shame. If you don't mind, I got buildings to loot. Oh, here we go. And that about wraps it up. Yep, I saw that. I'm just going to go a little way past it. Give myself enough margin to run away from the anomalies that are bound to pop up after I pull the plug. I'm sure most of you already know this, but I can't really... I gotta be certain everybody does. So... slippery road there. And got a face. And yoink! Yeah. Of course, there isn't much there, but, well... Guess I shouldn't have. I wasn't expecting that much. So, let's see. If I remember correctly, the first area that I visited that I considered to be the mid zone wasn't really the mid zone. It was just the wall, and I had to drive through the wall and drive in the wall. Yeah, I'll leave you to contemplate what that means. And then drive out of the wall. Close to the exit. Okay, not too bad. Let me just do some refueling here. Drive out of the wall and into another zone. And that was the first deep zone. And you know what else? It was one of those places where I had to run for the gateway right after there was a stabilizer thing there, and they had to trip it to get into the mid zone. And silly old me, I forgot that that was a thing. Huh. Why on earth do I have this thing in the trunk? We're not quite at the end of our time here at this zone just yet. So I have some time to refuel, or should I say refill my fuel tank, my spare one, a little bit more. That about tops it off. Wait a minute. Okay, there's a building. Let's see what that has. Those. These two. It looks like somebody lived here. Just for good measure. To the moon. I never played that or saw a playthrough of it, but I'm told it is to video games what Testament was to movies. Well, it's been nice knowing you. Or rather, it's been nice knowing this zone, I mean, but, it's about time I got going. Even if it's not exactly crunch time, it's, well, time enough. Our next stop is C4. I don't have a whole lot of time here. Shame, really. Well, it's not quite so dark out, but conditions are extreme here. So there's like one road, so I guess there's no question of me getting lost. Boy, is it raining out? You see, those are shopping tourists. I don't want to go too close to them, so I'm going around them. I had more time here. Look at all these thermostat crystals. Or is this impact hammer a little too much the worse for wear after slamming these things? Here, watch. Yeah, look at how big of a bite that took. It's got me wondering whether or not I have a spare one of those. Twisted embers too. Nice tree candy. These two things seem to go hand in hand with one another. How different the mid-zone was from the outer zone. Well, I'm beginning to wonder if the deep zone is just as different. And they're all like outside context problems to each other where you really don't know how to solve the deep zone using techniques from the previous two. It's like this whole big learning curve. You got to go through it all over again. At least that's how it felt it was, you know? That's what it felt like. Ow. Say, come to think of it, I did notice the map, and it looks like this is the... hold on again. Pass these up, they're too important. Anyway, this is the place where I first entered. Is it the place where I first entered the mid-zone? Maybe not, but I think it is the place where I had to trip a stabilizer for the mid-zone. honestly. I can't stoke the engines for like 2 seconds without running into so much loot, so much necessary, precious, hard to find except here loot. And I say, in terms of thermostat crystals, that engine was pretty darn expensive, wasn't it? And lead, so much of that too. There's an armored squire here. You may or may not have ascertained that I'm deliberately trying to use up that handy vac so that I can replace it with the new one and free up the space. I suppose I'm a bit behind schedule, if there is a schedule, even though I can't actually see said schedule. So I'm gonna up the speed a bit. Wait a minute. I remember this too. Yeah, the road was blocked completely. Had to go around it all. Okay, I think that's the road again. Come to think of it, it's a very long and winding road. Just go past that conductor there. These things I legitimately can't pass up. Oh, brother. That is the biggest dumpster pearl I have ever clapped eyes on. I can't even carry it in my backpack, even though the backpack is the biggest backpack available. Let me just put this right here. Whatever gods there are around here that actually make it back to the auto shop. Holy bananas, another one. Oh lordy, I think I'm drooling right now. Not literally, of course, but figuratively. I got like drool marks on my keyboard here. There is just so much to loot right now. I can smell the foreboding from here, by the way. Something very nasty is going to happen to me now that I've And I've got all this. Very, very nasty. Now then, I can spot the anchor from here. I want to go in there. All right, fine. Where's the anchor again? Where's the other direction? That's what I'm missing here. It's a nice high place. So theoretically, I shouldn't need the anchor radar. I should be able to... Yep, there it is, all right. And yes, I do know that those abductors abduct people. I am all too aware of that. So I didn't even bother turning around this time. Yoink! Let's get out of here. By which I mean now. Up the hill, there's never been a problem before. Alright, mission accomplished. That helped. Oh, fart. Alright, fine. There's only 0.8 of a kill him anyway. They said low, they weren't kidding. Well, I'm going to tear down the streets and totally ignore everything else. Because I just can't afford it. That is, I can't afford the time. Alright. So as long as I stay on the roads... Or should I say the one road? I should be fine. Can you make an off-road a little? Right, thread the needle, there we go. Avoid the rock. It's funny how there's no statistic for it. Watch out. Can't believe I dodged that whole thing. This place. I think this is actually what I was thinking of when I talked about how the road was completely blocked and I had to go around it. It was this. And they say you always remember your first time. They're talking about a couple of things there, but there's the gateway. Sorry, I keep saying gateway. maybe it's a Freudian slip. There's the barrier. Not the gateway, the barrier. I'm finally out of here. Hopefully this was worth it. And now... there's a couple of explosive thingies that I don't recognize. Huh. And a couple of conditions that I don't recognize. Well, I wonder if this is actually the deep zone or just part of the mid zone, or maybe the deep zone crept out beyond the wall. I'm noticing there's a lot of corrupt energy there. Well, let's all cross our fingers here.